SEC delaying a decision on whether to approve a Bitcoin exchange-traded fund or ETF now for a second time, and the agency cited its concerns over the potential for manipulation in the cryptocurrency market after the wild swings that we've seen just in the past few months. So joining us now is Alex Vuocolo. Alex, always good to see you. Take us through how significant this is and what it means for traders.
Hey, Kristen. So the real appeal of a Bitcoin ETF is that it would make it easier for people, investors, to get into Bitcoin without having to go through all the rigmarole of setting up a wallet or dealing with a crypto exchange directly. It's worth noting, though, that these efforts to get a Bitcoin ETF approved go back 2, 3 years when the public's relationship with Bitcoin was very different. So some could argue that now the pressure to create this vehicle to make Bitcoin a more accessible investment has become not quite as important, but I think some still believe this could be really crucial to formalizing the Bitcoin financial market.
Now, I know Gary Gensler, the SEC chair, has said it's up to Congress to take the lead on protecting crypto investors. What is the SEC's strategy, though, in delaying this a second time, Alex?
So I think officially the main reason is to get more public comments, specifically on whether or not a Bitcoin ETF would be susceptible to manipulation, how the regulatory environment around crypto has changed in recent years, whether the current proposal from then EC would be susceptible to fraud or manipulation, and how all this fits into the controversial Bitcoin futures market is a key part as well.
Do you expect that we'll see any action on the crypto front by Congress this year?
So according to the SEC's agenda, that's a no. It is not. There's no Bitcoin regulations in the works for this year. But as you mentioned earlier, after this 35-day comment period, the SEC will have to return to this issue again. Technically, they could delay it up to a total of 240 days, though, which still places it within 2021. The first filing was back in March. So we could see, legally at least, the SEC could have to approve this particular proposal or not by late October, November.
Okay, so we've seen how difficult it might be for some to trade cryptocurrency just because it's been so volatile. We highlight that every day. But how difficult is it to regulate this industry?
Well, I think the big problem with the Bitcoin ETF is that the underlying asset that the ETF would be tracking is Bitcoin, and Bitcoin is unregulated. So until a more robust regulatory framework is developed around Bitcoin itself, some of these financial instruments that people are championing might not pass the muster test.
All right, Alex, we got to leave it there. I know a story that you'll continue to follow and we'll follow here on Closing Bell. A lot of questions still in this space. Alex Vuocolo with Cheddar, thanks again.